our Northwood University Leader of the Day. Northwood University celebrating 51 years of free enterprise and creating leaders is Thomas Maloney, the principal of Lansing Catholic Central High School, who's on the other end of our line right this very moment. Good morning, Principal.
Good morning, Michael.
You've decided in September that all the staff members and every student that goes to Lansing Catholic High School will receive drug testing through a hair test. How much does that cost per student?
It is $39 per test. That is part of our tuition and fees for next year.
Okay, and how many students?
Next year we anticipate having right around 500 students.
I understand that that's a pretty big size bill for what it's worth. Where did you carve out the money to be able to do that?
Well, you know, it ends up being $25,000 is what we budgeted for, which is less than 1% of our budget. So through the budgeting process, we always look at what programs and what materials we have to fund for, and we were able to put this in next year's budget.
I notice the hair samples are going to go to a California lab for testing. Wasn't there a Michigan company available, or no?
You know, we researched that, and there really we did not find one locally. So Psychomedics is a company that has been doing the hair testing since 1987. They do about 85% of all the hair testing in the world right now, and they're used by many Fortune 500 companies, and also about 170 other schools are using Psychomedics for this purpose.
The board, I guess, was unanimous in their vote. Has the response been unanimous as well from parents? And I guess we might as well ask about the students, too. What have you heard?
Yeah, well, the board, it was unanimous with the board. It is not, we have a parent meeting tomorrow night, and we've received overwhelmingly positive support from our parents, but there have been some parents that have expressed concern or just want more information and make sure they understand what it is we're doing and trying to accomplish. Same thing with the students. Overwhelmingly a positive response from them, but there are some students that are looking at us saying, okay, what's going on, and want to know more.
Is there a margin of error in the testing? In other words, if somebody shows up positive, is it possible from time to time that could be a false positive?
You know, Psychomedics has patented their process, and so they have removed a lot of that margin for error. But that being said, there's no guarantee of 100% accuracy. What they do at Psychomedics is if they get a positive, then they do 2 additional tests to confirm those positives.
I see. And those will be done privately, I would take it, right? I mean, it's a private matter between the school, the student, and their parents?
Correct.
Very good. The guy that we spoke to a few minutes ago, attorney from the ACLU, he said that studies show that drug testing in schools doesn't help. Did you see any research that showed that it would help or not?
Well, the challenge with those studies, the ones that I have researched, is they only study schools where the drug testing is done for the athletes or the students participating in extracurricular activities.
Oh.
And so, you know, there's only 175 schools, and it's only at private or Catholic schools that are able to test the whole student body. So those test results, the research that he's speaking of, don't speak to the schools where they're doing it across the board. And that's one of the beauties of being at a private Catholic school is that you know, we can join into a partnership with our families and say, hey, this is something we're going to partner with you on for all of our students.
Let me ask you this. You said in the article that I read that there were about 10 incidents last year of drug or alcohol abuse or at least violations involving drugs or alcohol. When you take the test, when everybody takes the test, do you expect that number to go up or down?
You know, in talking to the schools across the country who have implemented this program and who are using this company, they say that on average they have about 1% of their population come back with a positive result. So for us, that would be 5. So that'd actually be a reduction from what we've seen.
Well, that would be good news, wouldn't it? That'd be
that
a
would
relief,
be
I would think. And then, like a Catholic school should, you shepherd those 5 in and try to help them and help their families and help their parents, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is just one part of our whole intervention process, and the whole goal here is to get kids help that need the help. So yeah, so right away we get them into a program. We work with the parents and the student to find the help that they need.
Is there a number of so when you retest, let's say you find a student who's using drugs and you retest him next quarter, right? I don't know how long it will be until you retest again, and let's say you find out that he's still positive for drugs. What happens then? Is there a strike system? Do they get expelled?
You know, our drug and alcohol policy has a number of consequences that increase with repeat offenders. And, you know, our drug and alcohol policy, other than now introducing this testing component, the consequences have not changed. And so there are progressively stricter consequences for the student, and it would eventually lead to a discussion with the family of whether or not this was a good fit for them based on continued positive test results. So eventually it could lead to that, yes.
You know, parents want to know on the report card, how's he doing in history? How's he doing in math? I think it would be kind of nice for them to know that their student is doing okay when it comes to, you know, managing the pressures of peer pressure and the availability of drugs and then the alcohol. Sometimes I think drugs are more accessible than alcohol, frankly. But so I can see why you say you're a family when you're a private Catholic school like that. It's a little bit more tight-knit, I think, than probably public schools. And like you said in the article, I mean, if a student is getting peer pressure, he can say simply, hey, look, I can't afford to get caught. They're going to test. No thanks. Gives them an out, right?
That's right. You know, we hope we give our students another reason to say no, to prevent them from making a poor choice. And you said exactly right. We are a family, and our mission statement says that we're going to form students intellectually, spiritually, and socially. And so this is part of that social realm where we're going to try and fulfill our mission the best we can.
Thank you very much. Keep in touch, and we'll talk as the day gets closer.
Okay. Thank you, Michael.
That is Principal Tom Maloney at Lansing Catholic Central High School. They're going to start mandatory drug testing and random, too, in September. Back in a flash with Michigan's Morning Show. I'm Michael Patrick Shields.